Hi guys, it is Moritz from Wolkify.com, a page for passionate people interested in personal growth and personal development. And what I want to talk with you about today is the importance of time management. We are living in a time where there are almost infinite choices of what we could be doing. There's so many opportunities, there's so many options, and that makes it sometimes very difficult to focus on one or two areas. We only have 24 hours in the days, guys, and it's very important that you know what you are using those 24 hours for. So what I want to share with you today is a simple tool that I've been using for a while now and that you can implement right now in order to always know what your focus areas are, what you should be neglecting, and why it is so crucial to really narrow down on just one or maximum two things in your life. Check it out. So first off, what I'd like you to do is to break down your life into a simple SWOT matrix. If you ever went to a business school, if you even dropped into one business class, you have probably seen this before. The way a SWOT matrix works is that you break down the project that you're working on, and in this case it's time management of your life, into 4 different categories. The first one is strengths, things that are working in your advantage. Then you have weaknesses. Here you have opportunities. And lastly, you have threats. And then you can see already this part of the matrix is more harmful to your project, and this is things that you can actually utilize. Furthermore, you can see the strengths and weaknesses are things that are more internal. It's things that really depend on you, on your mental state, and how you approach your project. These things, weaknesses and opportunities, are actually things that are a little bit outside of your control. These are things that are external factors, and it might be difficult to control that sometimes for yourself. So once you have created this kind of matrix, you can then start to fill it out. First, you write down all the strengths that you see in yourself. You write down everything that you believe is unique to you and that actually sets you apart from other people in a positive way. So you figure out, okay, I'm very good at sports, for example, or I'm very good at public speaking, or I'm really good with math. All these different things come into your strength section. After you're done with that, you move on to the weaknesses. You write down all the different things that you believe are things that you are not particularly good at. It doesn't mean that you have to be super bad at them, but they don't make you stand out. Or even they might be holding you back. After you're done with that, you then write down all the opportunities and all the threats in your life. So as I mentioned before, these are usually external factors. These are usually things that are a little bit outside of your control. So for example, with opportunities, that could be that you're living in a very big city that has a lot of unique advantages for you. For example, if you're living in New York City, obviously you have a lot of unique opportunities there that somebody in a more rural area might not have. On the other hand, of course, you have some opportunities in a rural area that somebody from a big city might not have. So it's not something that is objectively good or bad, but just for you personally and how you perceive things. You make a list of all these different items and then you move on to all the threats. You move on to maybe you're living in a family that is not very stable right now. You're moving on to you don't have a lot of money in your family, or you don't have a lot of money for yourself to make things happen for yourself. All these different things go into threats. They're not particular weaknesses, but they're also not really opportunities, obviously. There are things that are holding you back that you might not have complete control over right now. So now that we have created your SWOT matrix, now that we have listed all your strengths, all your weaknesses, all your opportunities and all your threats in your life right now, we can move on to figuring out what you should be spending most of your time on because you get the highest return on investment. I believe what you should be doubling down on is actually that area only. Focus only on your strengths, double down on them as much as you can, and actually neglect all your weaknesses. It is not your job to fix all your weaknesses, but it is your job to pick one or two strengths, one or two things that you are already good at, and then do everything in your power to become great at those. Find that sweet spot where some of your strengths overlap with some of the opportunities that you have in life already, and then take full advantage of that. Double down as much as you can and solely focus on that. I want you to really be aware that this part is something that you can neglect at the beginning. This is something that most people get wrong. Most people think they need to be good at everything. No, you don't have to be good at everything. You need to be good at one or two things, and that's already enough. You have only 24 hours in the day. There is simply no time to become great at everything. There is no time to fix all your weaknesses. So focus on one or maximum two things and then really zoom in on those. But interestingly enough, what you will find out after a while into your journey of becoming great at one or two things in your life is that you run into those roadblocks. You run into obstacles and it seems very hard to overcome them at time. And then you will realize that these are actually the weaknesses and the threats in your life that are holding you back. So it is very good when you already have listed them here, because I can guarantee you, if you focus on that area of your life, sooner or later, to further advance in that area, you will have to fix some of those. There will be some weaknesses that you simply need to overcome, fix in your life, and there are also going to be threats that are holding you back. So once you get to that point, then you can focus on those weaknesses, and then you actually have a very distinct purpose of why you are trying to fix those. Now you're not fixing them because you want to be good at everything, but you want to be good at this one thing. You actually want to be great at this one thing, and in order to get to the next level, you need to fix one or two of those weaknesses. So here's a quick recap. You have certain strengths in your life, and you need to focus on those that are overlapping with the opportunities that you already have. Focus on those areas, focus areas, really zoom in on those and neglect everything else until you get to a point where in those focus areas you actually see the weaknesses and the threats from that side holding you back. They're gonna bleed into that area, and in order to move on and in order to advance further, you need to fix a few of them so you are able to become the best version you can possibly be. So I hope this video was useful to you. I hope it will help you use your time as wisely as possible, and I hope it will help you make those decisions when you don't know what you should be doing, how you should prioritize certain things in your life. If you did like this video, feel free to subscribe down below. Make sure that you leave a like or a comment and let me know what you like about this video. Let me know what you dislike and what you maybe disagree on. We can easily have a discussion down here. Thank you so much for watching, and talk to you next time.